Hi guys, my name's Jamie. I'm a short film writer and director, and I'm here today to talk about 3 things I wish I knew before writing my first short film. If I knew these things, I would have saved countless hours, days, even months of planning and rewriting. Even the fact I know these things, it's easy to fall back into old habits. But before we get into this, let me know if you've got any helpful tips for us writers down in the comments below. And if you're new to the channel, if you want to see more filmmaking tips on writing, directing, producing, and editing short films and features, then please hit the subscribe button below. The first tip I can give you today is, if your idea for your short film is more suited to be a feature film, then it can't be condensed into a short. I can't tell you how many times I've come up with a feature film idea and tried to condense it into a short. It just doesn't work. You can't take a 90-page script and condense it into 10 to 20 pages. Well, actually you can, but it won't be great, and you completely lose the short film genre element to it. The main problem here is that you're most likely trying to include Act 1, Act 2, and Act 3. So you're taking the main beats from these acts and just throwing them together. That's just not going to work. There are ways around it, which I'll go into in a moment, but the problem with just taking the main beats is that you completely lose the flow of the story. Instead of letting the story develop over 90 pages, you just squished it together in 10 to 20 pages, and that means the pacing of the film will just be completely off and completely forced. Short films aren't meant to be like feature films. Short films are a standalone genre. They're a chance to tell a story. They're there to showcase that one moment or that one emotion, or to show a slice of life. And that's the difference with shorts and features. As with features, you can fully explore an idea. You can explore the characters inside and out. The characters can have full story arcs. You can even build whole worlds or whole universes. With shorts, you just don't have enough time to do that. But of course, I'm not here to just moan and complain. I'm going to explain some ways to help you condense your short. Okay, so instead of trying to get the most important beats from the film and squishing them together, why don't you just look at one beat, the most important one, or the most interesting one? Let me put this into an example. Let's say your parents have the most beautiful story ever, and you want to put it into a feature film. It's a romance, it's a drama. The film idea is boy meets girl, or boy meets boy, whatever. They fall in love, they have a happy life together. Suddenly, the baby gets ill, the baby dies, they lose their jobs, and their lives fall apart. Now they have to find new love and new hope to bring the family back together. So it's a big idea, but you still might be thinking, I can condense that into a short. It's gonna look like this. Scene 1, boy meets girl. Scene 2, they marry. Scene 3, they lose the baby. Scene 4, they're sad and they argue. And in the last scene, scene 5, they make up. Okay, it might seem doable in 5 scenes, but I'm just gonna tell you, it's not gonna work. It's a short film, and it's just way too much. Let's just look at scene 1. They meet for the first time. How can you establish someone's met their soulmate in such a short little amount of time? That idea itself can just be the entire short film. You might be thinking, oh, you can just have a few shots of them looking at each other, and that can establish that they've fallen in love. Yes, that will do the job, but that's a commercial. That's not a short film. And this leads me to my second reason why it won't work, and it will be too expensive. 5 scenes, 5 different locations, 5 different times in their lives. That's all going to add up. You're gonna have to have different costumes, different makeup, different location. It all just adds up. And if you're looking to write a short that you actually want to make, then just don't make it harder for yourself. There's so many limitations to shorts, such as budget, crew, locations, actors. Do yourself a favor, instead of choosing 5 moments of the feature film, just choose one. So let's say, what's the most important beat of that story? It's probably the baby dying, but that's depressing, so I'm not gonna talk about that. The next is probably their meeting, but there's a lot of shorts with first encounters, so I'm not going to talk about that. Let's talk about their wedding day. Now, this is the key to condensing your feature film into a short, is you find the story within the moment. So with this wedding day, what happens if the short film idea just focuses on the bride getting cold feet, or perhaps the groom forgot the rings? See, that itself is a complete story within this world of their happy lives together. These ideas are small, but they're packed full of emotion and drama. So in your feature film idea, what is the short story within your world which can work as a short? The second tip I'm going to talk about today is, don't write it, show it. I can't tell you how many times in my dialogue or in my action, I just tell the reader or the audience how to feel or exactly what is going on. That's just bad writing. It's a terrible habit, but it's very common for first-time writers and in first drafts. So if you're doing it, it's fine, but we're going to talk about how we can show it, not write it. So the easiest way I can describe this is, if we have a sad scene, the action will read, the protagonist is sad. Then a supporting character enters the scene and asks, how are you doing? Protagonist replies, I'm sad. Terrible writing. Very obvious, but you get the idea. It's our job as writers to show it, not to spell it out for the reader or audience. To make the example better, if we look at the action, we should be talking about the characteristics of being sad. So perhaps he has red puffy eyes, he has teardrops on his t-shirt. Maybe his breathing has increased. Maybe he's staring into the abyss of nothingness. And instead of the dialogue telling us exactly how the characters are feeling, let the dialogue make the audience wonder what is going to happen next or what has happened before. The audience can now see he's sad because you've written some lovely action, he's got puffy eyes and he's got teardrops on his t-shirt. Let's rewrite the dialogue to move the story forward. When the supporting character comes in, what happens if he says, "I'm sorry," and maybe the protagonist doesn't even reply? Just by doing this, we have created tension because now the audience thinks, why is he sorry? What is he sorry for? Is he the cause for the protagonist to be crying? See, once the audience starts to ask questions about the story, that's when they get hooked and that's when they get entertained. And that's the important thing. When we write, we need to enter the audience's mind and just keep them hooked and entertained, to keep them watching. By writing good action, the audience can visually see what's going on without being told it. And by writing good dialogue, it can drive the story forward. The desire to know the ending of the film or the ending of the scene or what happens next is what keeps the audience entertained. So if in your writing, if you're just spelling it out for people, time to change it to you're showing it to people. The third tip I want to mention today is less is more. It's similar to the first tip, but I just want to build on this even more. The best shorts have minimal locations, minimal characters, but a whole lot of emotional depth and a lot of storytelling. Okay, so you can write short films for two reasons. The first one is you actually want the film to get made. And the second is you just want to show off your writing skills and you're not bothered about it being made. If you're writing for the first reason, then the way to write a story without having lots of locations, lots of characters, and minimal production costs is to just write a simple story. But this doesn't mean write a basic story, but this means the core idea of the film should be simple. But make sure within this simple idea, you explore it to its full emotional extent. Some of the best and most successful short films are simply just conversations had around the dining table or in a car park. These conversations revolve around one central theme, whether it's love, addiction, or hatred. On top of it, these short films have very interesting characters with conflicting ideas. These conflicting ideas is what drives the conversations forward and drives the story forward. But this doesn't mean just choose one emotion and explore it. No, you should get specific. If love is the emotion that you're exploring, then is it a lustful love? Is it family love? Is it a spiritual love? Once you get specific on this one idea or theme, when you write your characters, make them as interesting and complex as possible. You need these characters to drive the story forward and keep the story interesting. So there we have it, guys. 3 things I wish I knew before I started writing my first short film. Number 1, your feature film idea is too big to be condensed, but there are ways around it, like choosing one moment in the film and finding the short story within that moment. Number 2, don't write it, show it. If you're telling the audience or reader how to feel instead of showing it, then it's time to change it. Write beautiful action and interesting dialogue to drive the story forward. And number 3, less is more. Do not overcomplicate your script. Really focus on the themes, the ideas, and the messages you want to convey. Develop your characters more and have them very interesting instead of going to lots of different locations and having characters which don't add value to your story. If you found this video helpful, please drop us a like. And if you have any other writing tips, please drop them down in the comments below. And if you really enjoyed today's video and would like to see more, please hit the subscribe button below. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next week.